The idea behind the cloud-managed access points is that they are designed to be centrally managed. So that means as well that they should be deployed very easily, even by someone who doesn't have any technical skills. So if you send an access point somewhere and you want somebody to deploy it, the only thing that person needs is an access point, all right, then somewhere to connect the access point, so a switch. Switch with PoE unless you have a power brick. And be careful, if it's the MR34, it requires 802.3 AT. The others need 802.3 AF, so the amount of power will depend on the access point. Then you need to make sure that the access point can connect to the cloud, so you need to make sure that your firewall ports are open at least on port 80 to get the AP to the cloud. Then as we get into the interface, I will show you, the interface also tells you what other specific ports might be used on top of 80. Then you need to get the AP in the cloud and make sure you have a license for that AP. And voila, that's it. In other words, to deploy the access point, all you do is open the box, plug the access point. You don't need to use much of your brain for that. Well, maybe to get access to the Ethernet connection, you may need to use a little bit of brain cells, but not too many. So open the mount and get access to the Ethernet port. Once you have it, you connect an Ethernet cable to the access point. Then you take the other end of the cable and you plug it into your switch. Just like this. So the access point is going to get power, the LED is going to turn on red, and it's going to blink around as the AP gets an IP address from your DHCP server, connects to the internet, and connects to the cloud. Voila, that's all that you need to do. The AP will be on the cloud, ready to be managed from the cloud. Well, at least when everything goes well. But what do you do if you wait, and you wait, and the access point never shows up on the cloud? The access point doesn't have any console port you can get into. There is not necessarily a good CDP information that will allow you to telnet to the access point. But luckily, if the access point doesn't make it to the cloud, it's going to start broadcasting an SSID because it understands that you need to connect to it. And that is this Meraki scanning SSID. All you need to do is be in range of that access point, connect to that SSID, and you'll be able to connect to the access point itself to see what's going on. You just open a web browser to my.meraki.com, and that is going to stop at the access point. And you can see the status of the access point from that main page. You can click that uplink configuration, and you'll be able to configure the IP addressing scheme manually. So the username is the serial number of the access point that is written on the AP itself and on the box of the access point, and there is no password. This is a security to make sure that you are the one owning the access point, so you have it in your hands, or at least the box. And here you see the IP address assignment is by default DHCP, but if you can't make it to the cloud, you may want to change that into a static addressing scheme. There are also some other links that give you information about the RF environment in case the trouble you may have getting to the access point would be due to some RF activity around. When the AP is an outdoor AP, you also have the information about mesh neighbors that the AP can join to. In any case, that allows you access to the access point interface to configure it and make sure that it gets to the cloud.